It's showtime, and you're listening to Florida Real Estate Radio, where you'll hear about what's relevant and where to find opportunities and solutions in Florida real estate. Right now, live in studio, here's your host, Brian Heckman.
All right, well, thanks so much for being here today. We are super fortunate. I don't know how we got this guest in here today. Annalisa Weller is a real estate agent with Prudential Tropical Realty, and she's also on the International Council of the local realtor board here in the Tampa Bay area. And so we have her in here today, and she's going to be sharing with us some information about international buyers and that whole market. So, Annalisa, so awesome to have you here.
Well, thank you for having me here, Brian. I appreciate it.
Oh, you bet. I'm just very, very excited that you were able to carve out some time for us. So thanks. So why don't we do this? Why don't we start just by you kind of briefly sharing how you got into real estate, when, why, and ultimately why you're still doing this today.
I started in real estate here in Florida about 7 or 8 years ago. I've been interested in homes and real estate since a teenager. My first boyfriend, my first true love, his father was an architect, and they had their own construction building company. And so as about 15, I started working with them. He was doing passive solar building back then in Annapolis, 1970s.
Wow, no kidding.
So, and then I participated in real estate in California, Maryland, and now here in Florida.
Got it. Okay, cool. So, so the whole thing with you and your credentials, and I'm going to kind of let you just explain what all this is and what all this means. And I know what the stuff is, but I want you to kind of hear it from you on your end.
Okay.
So you're very, very involved in the international market, specifically promoting and I guess featuring the Tampa Bay community, the Tampa Bay market, but specifically to international buyers and international investors. So can you share a little bit about how you're involved with that and with the Pinellas Realtor Association as well?
Certainly. First of all, I was born in Germany, and we traveled all over Europe. So I was exposed to many languages and cultures right from the time I was a baby. And then I have lived in Maryland, California, and in the Caribbean. No matter what business I'm in, I always seem to attract people from other countries. They know to come and talk to me. Mm-hmm. I'm a certified international property specialist, which is a rigorous course. At the time that I took it, it was 7 days, 7 full days, 2 full days of mortgage and finances, right
Mm-hmm.
up your alley.
Right.
And then the rest was about culture and how businesses in real estate take place in other countries, because they're quite different than they are here in the USA. I'm also an accredited buyer's representative. I primarily represent buyers. I work with them from all over the world. The countries primarily here in this area are Canada, mm-hmm. Mexico, some from Australia and Europe, but and recently Venezuela and Brazil are the other big investors. I'm also have my green designation because people outside of the USA are much more attuned to whether a home has green in it or not. Growing up in Europe, that they were doing that in the 50s and 60s already because there's limited resources.
Right.
So to me, that all seems like it work hand in hand. And then I also work with a lot of people that are from like the Ukraine and Russia and Romania and Albania.
Gotcha. So what would you say, I mean, right now with the current market, a couple things. So where are these people buying typically? Like, are we talking Pinellas County, out by the beaches? Are they buying second homes? Are they relocating here, condos? Like, what is all that? What's the dynamics of that look like?
Well, the first thing everyone wants to do is to buy a condo on the beach for $50,000. And that's not the case, and it hasn't been for many, many, many years. So then we have to adjust their expectations and fine-tune their criteria. Most of them are buying condos because they don't live in this country. They want to get their foot in the market, and they know that this is one of the best places in the country. They like the warm weather. They like the lifestyle. And then eventually some of them will be moving here, mm-hmm. and they may go from having a condo to a single-family home. If they can't afford right on the beach, then they want to be within 15 minutes of the beach. So I primarily work with people in St. Petersburg, Tierra Verde, Clearwater, all along, the coast, as well as downtown St. Petersburg.
Got it. So most of the people then are still buying out at least close to the water.
Correct.
Makes sense.
These days, people want more than just the water, though. 7 years ago, most of my Canadians just wanted to spend all their time on the beach. Now they want to have music and museums and sporting events and festivals and that sort of thing. So the Tampa Bay area offers all of that,
right,
and at a lower price than Miami, and we're still only an hour and a half to Orlando.
So I was going to ask that. So how do we compare, let's say, hot-wise, I don't know what the proper word for it is, but compared to like the Miami market, which is, it seems like forever has been this big international condo market, and then same thing with Orlando, where, just the huge hub of those two cities in our state. Where do we compare?
Well, we're obviously less expensive than Miami. Miami still has more international buyers because they're closer to the Latin American countries.
Sure.
They also have made connections to Spain and to France. We are less expensive than Miami, but we're a little more expensive than most of Orlando, except there are some really fancy resort areas up there. But from Orlando to Miami, about 28 to 31% of all sales are have some sort of international element to them. And last year it was $82 billion in the U.S. was involved in international.
Isn't that amazing?
So it's a huge, huge chunk of the real estate business.
Amazing. And what's interesting about that is my wife was born and raised in the Orlando area. We lived there before we relocated over here. There's no water over there.
Correct.
So
Correct.
That's the one thing we came to Tampa, and we love Orlando, and there is great culture there and everything as well, but that's the one thing about over here where you see there's water, there's big-time sports, there's just this awesome culture and flavor on both sides of the bridge, in Hillsborough
right.
and Pinellas County both, just amazing area and amazing market.
And it's a lot hotter in Orlando than it is here.
Oh, yeah, there's
so
no
we get that
doubt
afternoon
about that.
breeze, so that helps tremendously.
That's right. So how do you see, like, right now, compared to maybe like 6 months ago and 12 months ago, as far as activity with international buyers? I mean, is there typically, like, does it get busy over the summer, typically every year? Is it just pretty much constant?
For me, I have buyers throughout the entire year. But for the area, and I'm busier, obviously, during the winter, the snowbirds. People want to come here because the temperatures are so nice in October, November, December, January, through like April. The temperature's great. There's no humidity or very little. And that's people come down for a vacation and decide, well, I don't want to pay rent to someone. I want to own this. I want to be able to come here whenever I feel like it, have my family, my friends come.
And then do they typically rent these places out while they're not here, or?
It's about half and half.
Really?
I have some that do rent them out, and they want property managers. And that's one of the things I think, especially in international real estate, is you have to have a team of experts that you work with and you direct your clients to. These people need to know about visas. They need to know about taxes. They need to know about the insurance inspections. A lot of those things don't occur in their countries.
Right.
And so you act as an educator and a counselor as well. And these people become my dear friends, and now I have invitations to visit in places all over the world, which is awesome.
The residual benefits of having international customers, right?
Yeah, right. Haven't been able to take care of that yet. It's the matter of the time and the money. But once
right.
I have an invitation to Thailand, to Rome, wow. to the Ivory Coast, to many places, and I just need to get the time.
That's what the one thing I say about one of the big reasons I love what we do. So on both sides of the industry, both yours and mine, is that we're really a front door to people's lives, whether it be through the real estate Correct. Or the financing side. I mean, we get to intimately know these people, and usually they come to know, like, and trust us both. And so that's the fun part about what we do.
Right. And the thing with international clients is they in their country, most of these countries, you need to establish a relationship with them. Sometimes I might meet with a client 4, 5, 6 times before we ever really discuss business. They need to know me, look me in the eyes, get to know my heart and soul, and because you're going to be working with them, and it's one of the most important decisions that you make in your life is to purchase property.
So also, now I know you're really involved with the Pinellas Realtor Organization. So can you talk a moment about that, about your background with them? I know you've been very involved, and what that specific council is within that.
Okay, it's the Pinellas International Council at PRO, which is the Pinellas Realtor Organization in Clearwater. It covers all of Pinellas County. I'm one of the founding members of the council. We pushed for a couple of years trying to explain to the board at that time how important the international business was, because 7, 8 years ago it wasn't on forefront in people's mind. And then I was on the board and the vice chair for 2 years, and just finished being the chair for the last 2 years. I'm still on the board, very involved in it. Matter of fact, on March 7th, Phil Reek and I were co-chairs for putting on the 2nd annual Global Symposium for West Florida. We had speakers coming from around the country, speaking on the visa aspects, the legal aspects. We had CPAs, we had the regional coordinator for the North America, Central America, and the Caribbean come and speak. We made sure that we had all of these experts come because we want to give the best information to our members. The goal of the International Council, as I see it, is that we want to educate the realtors as well as the affiliates, and we work hand in hand with all of the affiliates, as to what is the proper way, legally and ethically, to work with these people, and that you will gain so much knowledge and friendship from that. And then the other is to put the Tampa Bay on the map, because most people think of Miami or Orlando when they're coming from other countries and even from around the USA. And we want people to be able to do things the proper way and to help them and to give them all of the information that they need in coming to live here or just to purchase property and to go away feeling good.
So I love that about the giving spirit, the DNA of helping people. You know, it's about not just about your own business and your own customer base and commissions and making money,
right,
but making our market exposed and exposable with the people that are ultimately going to help do that, which is real estate agents.
Correct. And a lot of realtors will come to me and say, well, how do I get my properties marketed in Spain or in England? And how am I going to make money quickly on this? If you're looking to make money quickly, international is not the place for you. Some clients I work with for 2 to 3 years before they purchase, but once they purchase, they recommend me to their family, their friends. I have been working very closely with many families from Newfoundland, from St. John's, and it started with one, and I have worked with probably 25 or 30 in the last few years because they recommend me to someone else. I never make cold calls. I never send out, solicit things. It's all by referral,
right,
or they find me from the internet on my blog.
Very cool. So we're kind of winding down on time, but I would love to do this again and talk about how you actually market. Specifically, we have a lot of real estate agents that tune into this and check into it. Just providing some information, whether it's international or just people that are non-local, of how you go about actually doing that. Because obviously it's not as easy as farming a neighborhood to find people to buy, right? So It's a little bit different. And we do a lot of things that we love sharing with agents as far as that, with just using technology. And it's a global market all of a sudden with all the technology and the social media and all that. So
correct. Well, and I love every week tuning in to your webinars. I've learned quite a bit, or in many cases it's just reinforced something that I was plugging along on my own, thinking, what am I doing? Am I doing this right? And it's like, then you talk about it on there. It's like, oh, cool, I am doing this.
Yeah, Annalisa, I really appreciate that. We have an awesome team. So
yes, you do.
I wish I could take credit for it, but we just have some great brains that come together, and we're fortunate that they work with a lot of people across the country to kind of bring that stuff in. So why don't we do this? What's a good place that someone can reach you, phone and email, if they wanted to?
Oh, well, thank you. That's very nice. The phone number is 727-804-6566. And my email is my name. It's AnnalisaWeller1@gmail.com. And I'll spell it because I know it's a difficult name. It's AnnalisaWeller1@gmail.com.
Perfect. Well, it was a huge pleasure having you on today, so thank you for making time in your schedule.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
No, you bet. We'll have to do it again soon. That was a lot of fun. And thank you out there as well for tuning in and listening to Florida Real Estate Radio, where you're always hearing about what's relevant and where to find opportunities and solutions in Florida real estate right now. I'm your host, Brian Heckman, here with Annalisa Weller. Remember that we're all in this together, so let's grow together. Have a great day.